The throne hall of the Celestian Empire glowed with shimmering violet light, its crystalline pillars humming with energy older than most civilizations. Empress Rose Valseran, barely 24 by her people's measure yet already the most feared sovereign of the outer spiral, sat with a poise that made even generals bow a little too quickly. Her silver-blue gaze scanned the hall cold, sharp, unyielding. Before her stood a single human soldier, James Carter, average height, average build, black hair, neatly tied. No armor, no weapons, not even the faint hum of a personal shield. To Rose, he looked painfully insignificant, but the Galactic Treaty demanded that every species offer a representative for the coming frontline initiative against the Voidborn. And humanity newcomers to the cosmic stage sent him. Just him. How very disappointing, Rose announced, her voice echoing through the hall. Is this it? Humanity sends a single soldier while other species send legions? James didn't flinch. He simply bowed his head. Orders received, Your Majesty. I go where I'm told. The Empress exhaled sharply, irritation flickering across her elegant features. You do not belong on this battlefield, human. Your kind is crude, underdeveloped. You are better suited as support staff, perhaps cleaning drone bays or carrying equipment. A few Celestian nobles chuckled, but James only nodded. Understood. No anger. No protest. No wounded pride. Just quiet acceptance. It unsettled Rose more than defiance would have. Dismissed, she said, waving her hand. James bowed once more and turned away. His boots clicked softly against the crystalline floor. No one paid attention to him, just another insignificant human escorted out by 2 guards. But Rose watched him leave. Why didn't he argue? Why didn't he defend his people? Her hand tightened around the armrest, confusion knotting inside her chest. Chapter 2. The briefing that sparked a war. 2 hours later, the war briefing began. Holographic projectors filled the strategy chamber with maps of the coming front, the rift of black suns, the Voidborn army. An ancient species older than light itself was moving. Generals discussed formations. Commanders debated logistics. Advisors from 5 different species suggested retreat. Then someone asked, Where is the human soldier? The chamber went silent. Rose felt a strange pulse in her throat. He left. He was dismissed. General Zathava shifted uneasily. Your Majesty. The humans requested their representative be allowed to observe from the command deck. That insignificant soldier? Rose snapped. Exo Tavar swallowed. With respect, Your Majesty. Humans have earned a terrifying reputation among the frontier colonies. Rose blinked. Terrifying? They're barely past interstellar infancy. The general leaned forward, lowering his voice. They fought the Gralthok War with 200 soldiers. 200. The Gralthok lost 17,000. Humans don't retreat. They don't surrender. And they do not break. Rose felt her stomach tighten. She remembered the way James quietly accepted her insult. Like he had nothing to prove, or like he had seen worse. Chapter 3. What humans call a knife fight alarms blared through the Celestian flagship. Voidborn breach, hull deck 6. Rose jumped to her feet. How did they get inside? No one knew. No one had time to know. The ship trembled as shadow-like creatures poured into the lower decks. Celestian soldiers rushed to respond, but the creatures devoured shields and drained energy weapons instantly. Rose moved with her guards toward the evac corridor until a security drone displayed something strange on the holoscreen. A lone human signature. On deck 6. James. He wasn't running, he was sprinting toward the breach. Rose froze. Magnify that feed? The screen sharpened. James charged into the darkness with nothing but a combat knife strapped to his thigh. A knife against energy-draining void beasts. That fool, Rose whispered. Except he wasn't dying, he moved with brutal efficiency. Slashing through tendrils, shoving creatures off wounded Celestians, dragging survivors out by their armor. His movements were calculated, fearless, almost emotionless. One of her guards murmured, voice trembling, Your Majesty. That human is fighting like a demon. Rose's breath caught. She had no words. Chapter 4. The human who left quietly by the time Rose reached Deck 6. The air was thick with smoke and the metallic bite of plasma leaks. Half a corridor had collapsed. Shadow carcasses dissolved into black dust at her feet, but the sight in the center was what stopped her heart. James knelt. Breathing hard, his uniform torn, arms covered in cuts yet, he held 3 unconscious Celestian soldiers in his arms. Shielding them despite his own wounds, he heard her footsteps and slowly stood. "Apologies, Your Majesty," he said simply. "I know I was dismissed, but I heard the breach and you saved them," Rose whispered. James shrugged lightly. "Someone had to." She stepped closer. "Why did you not tell me what you were capable of?" "You never asked." There was no bitterness, just fact. He wasn't bragging. He wasn't smiling. He wasn't expecting praise, and that shook her more than everything else. Chapter 5. The Empress Who Learned Fear Later. Rose sat alone in her private chamber, the ship repairing damage around her. Her heartbeat had not calmed. She replayed the moment James walked away from her earlier, quiet, humble, accepting every insult. He wasn't weak, he was controlled. Humans hid their strength behind ordinary faces. They did not posture like the warlike species of the galaxy. They did not boast. They simply acted. She had belittled him. And he saved her soldiers without hesitation. A soft knock sounded. James entered at her command. Still bandaged, but standing straight, Rose swallowed her pride. "I misjudged you." "And your people?" James nodded gently. "Most do. What are you, exactly?" she asked in a whisper. His answer was calm. Terrifyingly calm, human. Silence hung heavy. Rose exhaled shakily. "Will you stay on this ship as our representative? If that is your command?" She looked at him, really looked at him this time, not as an insignificant soldier, but as a force wearing a human face. "One more question, James," she said softly. "When I insulted you earlier, why didn't you react?" He smiled faintly. "Because, Your Majesty, I don't get angry when someone underestimates me. I get worried." "Worried?" she repeated. "Yes, because it usually means a war is coming. And no one is prepared for what humans do in wars." A chill ran down Rose's spine for the first time in her reign. She understood fear, not of James, but of what humanity truly was.